Candle 4, Double Cross. Well, another week God has given us. Take a moment today to set some spiritual goals. You're not sure where to start? Pretend today is your last Passover, tonight is your last supper, and well, you get to write the rest of your story today. Our verses for today come from Hebrews 9:28 and John 19, verse 30. So Christ, having been offered once to bear the sins of many, will appear a second time, not to deal with sin, but to save those who are eagerly waiting for him. And from the disciple John, whom Jesus loved, comes the three words Jesus spoke in the Bible that we should love the most. When Jesus had received the sour wine, he said, "It is finished." Or is it? We shall see in today's meditation how true those words are for us today. So far, we have heard the stories of the Advent wreath in the context of Week 1, God breathing life into man. Week 2, our Savior taking his first breath on earth. Week 3, Jesus breathing life over the sick and hurting, and breathing life and light into our lives through the Scriptures. Candle 4 represents the light we once extinguished as God's sacrificed Son breathed his last breath on the cross. Bruised and beaten and nailed to the cross, Jesus summoned his last ounce of life to tell us, "It is finished." But is it really, or was it just Genesis 1:1, in the beginning, all over again? These three words declared that God's rescue was complete. His covenant with his chosen was painfully sealed. In that most precious moment, Jesus brought life, and he still does, to all those who look to him on the cross. This brings to mind the story in the book of Numbers, chapter 21, when God commanded Moses to lift up a bronze snake on a pole. We can imagine that Satan must have felt mocked to see his image from the garden dying on a pole. He must have been mortified in that wilderness to see that those who looked upon his mockery were being healed. Fast forward to Calvary, where Satan now is attempting to mock God by putting Jesus on a pole to die. Little did Satan know how clever our God is, how befuddled Satan must have been once again to see those whom Satan thought were his prisoners were being set free for all eternity by looking upon Jesus as their substitute for sin. Jesus' work was indeed finished, but it wasn't really Jesus' last breath, because he came back to breathe over his disciples on Pentecost and to tell us that he would be with us always and that he would return. The Bible has always been about God pursuing us, providing a way back into relationship with him, and fulfilling the covenants he made with Adam, Noah, Moses, Jacob, and now all of mankind. Jesus was sent to restore us to himself. God had to forsake his own Son and turn his back on what we had done to him, as Jesus became obedient unto death, the death we all deserved. From the manger to the cross, all Jesus had accomplished culminated with those three words, "It is finished." How awesome that Jesus was willing to live the life we could never live and pay the price we could never pay so that we could be in communion with him forever. We light this candle in remembrance of God's sacrifice for us, his double-cross plan to bring us back into the restored relationship that we once enjoyed in the Garden of Eden. He desires to walk and talk with you now. He has so much said so. Lo, I am with you always, even to the end of the age. These words hearken back to the promise God made with Jacob in Genesis 28. Behold, I am with you, and will keep you wherever you go, and will bring you back to this land, for I will not lead you until I have done what I have promised you. Christ's redemptive work on earth is finished. May God's strength, might, and wisdom keep us on guard until He comes for us.